how to evaluate the AI and ML solution in an effective way. A lot of time I ask myself, are we really measure the success of AI and machine learning solution the right way? Or are we just tracking the number that easy to collect, standardized or look good on paper but mean nothing in the real world? Today, we're breaking down a big mistake many organizations and teams make when evaluate AI solution and how you can fix it. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Celine Xu, an AI and data strategist in a large global organization with more than 11 years experience in machine learning and AI, hands-on, and leadership. I have helped organizations build and refine their AI and ML solution for better business impact successfully. And one of my core missions is bridging the gap between the business and the tech team and to leverage AI and data for human-centric decision-making that drives better results.
The shocking reality. Here is the statistic should terrify every business leader. 85% of AI projects fail to deliver expected business value. But here is the kick. It's not because of the technology doesn't work. It's because we are measuring the wrong thing. Picture this. A major retailer's CFO walks into the boardroom meeting, says excitingly, "Our AI recommendation engine served 2 million product suggestions last month." Meanwhile, their chief revenue officer is quite panicking because despite those millions of recommendations, the online sales are just down 8%. And the cart abandon rate is at all-time high. Or imagine this banking scenario. The analytic officer says, "Our fraud detection AI flag 50,000 suspicious transactions just yesterday." Sounds amazing, right? Wrong. They don't mention that our 85% are false positive. Customer complaints skyrocketed 300%, and they lost $12 million in legitimation transactions that were blocked. More common story is like, after months of late night and whiteboard battle, your engineer team have made a great breakthrough. The new demand forecasting model now boosts 90% accuracy. You double check, it's solid. Cross-validation looks good, the residues are clean, everyone impressed. It looks like a major win. So you relaunch the system. You expect smoother operator, better planning, and a few inventory headache. Instead, your inbox exploded. Most information you get are, "Why are we getting the wrong delivery again? We are overstocked on things we don't need. We are still running out of best sellers." The field manager, the store manager are sound alarm. You go back to the data team. What happened? They show you the model is still at 90% accuracy. Nothing broken. And that's the problem. The model optimized for a metric that didn't reflect real-world needs. What looks like a win on paper wasn't aligned with how store manager measure success. This isn't a failure of engineering. It is a failure of alignment. If we don't define the right metric for success, we'll end up optimize the wrong thing. How could we get better alignment and rely on better design metrics? It starts with 3 critical concepts: the output, the outcome, and impact. You can always slice the results of an AI ML solution into those 3 levels. When you discuss with different stakeholders for better understanding and alignment about the value and the performance, the stakeholders have a natural tendency to discuss the measurement or the metric at different levels. The higher of the position, the more focus on the impact level. The close to the execution, the more focus on the output level. For a business, it is always better to start from an impact level. Find the key metrics, then move backward to find out what could be the relevant outcome and output metrics or index that indicate a better impact metric. However, in reality, the misalignment normally happens because the output measurements are not relevant to the outcome metrics. and the outcome metrics do not contribute to any impact metrics. So, if you are able to understand the difference among those three concepts and different metrics, you can help your AI and ML solution team have better adoptions and support. Let's get started, and with the easiest one, the output. The output is the direct deliverable from the model. The data table, the recommendations, the action of the automation, or the reports. At this stage, we're not able to directly measure business value or financial impact, but understand how well the model functions based on its technical or scientific design. Indicate the model's technical efficiency and capability to generate the right or reliable results. There are two dimensions. First, model accuracy. This evaluates model performance using normally cross-validation. Model accuracy metrics include mean absolute percentage error, MAPLE, R-squared, accuracy or precision, FE score, ROC, bias, and a lot more. Normally in this technical term, not well known by business people. Those metrics are useful to justify whether a model is performing properly based on historical data testing. Second, model operational efficiency include forest generation speed, response time, measure how quick a model generates prediction, or computational cost, which assess the processing power and the resource requirement cost, system downtime or incident recovery time. Those metrics showing another dimension of technical or solution stability and usability. When you talk to your engineering team about the successful factor, you will get the most merriment at this level. This is because this level of metrics has standardized definition and the performance of data is easy to collect. But you need to remember, good model accuracy doesn't mean you will have good business performance or financial result. And bad model performance will normally lead to broken application and operation. Models are simplifications and approximations of reality. The usefulness of a model lies in its ability to reflect the reality and provide practical insights despite its inherent inaccuracy. And how do we measure the level of usefulness? Then we need to focus on the following two levels, outcome and impact level. Outcome is the result at a business focus, behavioral, or operational change level. These metrics track how model influence the decision-making and organizational operational process. To design the metric at this level, you need domain specialists and business experts' input. To truly understand how the solution is being used in daily operation and decision-making process. The metrics includes, but not limited to, active efficiency metric, like how many results are generated, how large the data volume being processed, how many internal or external use your retail AI process 500,000 customer interaction, your banking fraud system can scan 2 million transactions, your recommendation engine display 10 million product suggestions, or your forecast adoption rate is 75%, which measure how often the forecasting is used in the decision making. Those metrics show the impact and improvement to your business operation. But still, at this measure, is not at business value level. Normally, your product team can offer you this information. The operational impact metric, such as improvement of work efficiency, shorten the lead time, the reduction hours of working, reduction in stock outs, measure how forecasting reduce inventory shortage, reduction rush order, reduce the number of human error, or improve any business metric like click rate, conversion rate, customer churn, or employee turnover rate. At this stage, you seem able to measure business value, but not in the financial term, but close to user side, giving you stronger indicate about whether or not the solution is useful or not. But when you want to ask for a budget or investment, or show the result to the leadership to justify the investment, you often need to look at the impact metrics. The impact metrics assess how solutions impact organizational financial performance. They measure both short-term and long-term value based on the organization, financial, and strategic goals. The impact metrics are normally used for comparison purpose to support high-level prioritization, budgeting, and investment decision. That's why they are so important and welcomed by leadership and decision makers. The impact metrics include, but not limited to, increased revenue, improved profit margin, reduced cost at company or test level, the ROI of developed product based on selected business KPIs. One feature of impact metrics is they are less accurate than the metric of the previous two levels. Because when calculate the impact metrics, different people will put different assumptions or not aligned hypotheses in it. For example, when you're doing a recommendation engine A/B testing, what real data you actually can collect from system is changed conversion rate or the changed average basket size. Then, how you get the monetary value, you need to give base assumption how you can convert those improved conversion rate and basket size to a total revenue. There is no standardized answer. Different analysts, different stakeholder based on different information or preference will give different assumptions. Then you will get the different calculated result. No one can guarantee all the calculations are the truth. That is also why more often the tech team will not or hesitate to give you the metric at this level. And the stakeholder normally will disagree with each other. The numbers came up from different stakeholder or department at this level, based on their own perceptions. Here is another problem. A huge portion of AI solutions go unmeasured or only measured on output level. When the output measurement is not connected to outcome or impact level, we could not justify the usefulness of a single model or solution. That's why British statistic Georgia E.P. Box once said, all models are wrong, but some are useful. That is also why sometimes the real useful model gets ignored, but those fancy or advanced useless models get deployed. Let's put the framework in action to review two cases we mentioned at the beginning of the video, when organizations focus on the wrong metrics that destroy millions in AI investment, and you may get inspired. Case number 1, the retail AI recommendation system case. What company was measured are the output level, 50 million personalized recommendation per month, which is a great win. At outcome level, 85% of recommendation acceptance rates and 40% of increase in page view, which also fantastic. But what the company missed and happened during the following quarter are average order value dropped 15%, which means customer bought the cheaper items. The return rate increased 35%, which means the recommendation actually not right. The customer lifetime value crashed by 22%, and the net result was $12 million loss in annual revenue, despite this successful AI. So the company measured the engagement, but not the profitability. Case study 2, the banking fraud detect system. What the bank measured were at output level, 2 million transactions scanned daily, and 99.2% fraud detection accuracy. At outcome level, 50% reduction in fraudulent transaction. But what the bank missed till later were customer complaint increased 400%. This due to the false positive blocking legitimate purchasing. And then this led to 23% of high-value customers switch to the competitors. Net impact in the end of the year, $45 million lost in revenue and $50 million loss in recover cost. What the bank did wrong is they were measuring technical accuracy, but not the customer value. Now, you may ask, what could you do to prevent the similar situation from happening to your company? First is to understand what are the irrelevant metrics and what are the good metrics. Irrelevant metrics is normally output focus, like number of AI transaction proceed, model accuracy percentage in isolation, data processing speed, system uptime statistic, future deploying counts. No, I'm not saying these metrics are useless. They are important for system health. But here is the dangerous trap. When you purely focus on output metrics, your measure could go wrong. Someone once told me, it's always better to have something to measure than nothing. But I doubt about this. Here is why. If we focus on the wrong measurement while remain unaware of negative operational and financial consequence, we create a false sense of security and reward the behavior organizations want to actually avoid. All measurements are subjective and biased. It's not about accuracy, it's about using easier collected number to justify your hard work. It's about relevance to your bottom line. What the good metrics is normally outcome focus, like customer conversion rate improvement, processing time reduction, user engagement increase, error reduction percentage, or the operational efficiency gain. Those metrics can help you bring first level of alignment between your engineering products with business. In order to bridging the gap between the outputs and outcome, you may ask yourself, which data points define this business metric? When one metric goes up but another goes down, which takes priority? If we don't have the direct data, how we could build reliable index? And how do we get stakeholder agreement on these calculations? You may ask now, where are the impact metrics? Like revenue per customer increased by AI, cost saving direct contribute to AI, market share gain from AI advantage, customer lifetime value improved due to specific product, and profit margin expand from AI initiatives. Easy to see, right? But here the rubber meets the road. How do you actually collecting those data? Normally, you are just calculating the result based on your smart metrics and having an appropriate assumption. And please don't fall into this assumption-based business case trap. You must heard the argument like, based on industry report, recommendation model typically increase revenue by 5% on average. So since we have X $1 million revenue, we will generate Y $1 million lift. That's not measurement. That's wishful thinking. Here is how we get a great impact metric number. First, rigorous sampling and A/B testing. Real impact measurement required controlled experience. Proper sample size, right metric for statistic significance. No shortcut, no assumption, just hard data, even though still biased but not 100% accuracy. Second, organizational data-driven decision culture and towards the same business goal. This isn't just about metric. It's about break down the department silo. It's about share cost and share success together and embed technology into daily operation instead of having separate ownership, creating true alignment between technology team and business outcomes. And last, the courage to face the reality. We must be willing to admit that advanced technology and fancy concept don't always work in practice. Past investment and existing products might be wrong for your future. And some initiatives will fail, and you need to pivot quickly instead of just deny it. And your current measurement approach might be fundamentally flawed. This is really difficult. It requires courage, humanity, and organizational maturity. But this is what separates industry leaders from industry followers. The organization at this level don't just implement AI. They create sustainable competitive advantage that compound over time. Here comes a solution framework you can use in your work. I call it Business First AI Measurement Framework. And it starts with a mindset shift. Stop asking, what can we measure? And start demanding, what business problem are we solving? And how we know when we solve it. Step 1. Define your business North Star. Before you measure anything, answer this critical question. What specific measurable business outcome will tell you this AI project was worth every penny you invested? Here are some examples for inspiring you in retail and the banking industry. Example. Make it specific, measurable, and tied to your P&L and your business priority. It is better to only have one North Star, which means any other business goals can be sacrificed for this one. Remember, it will always be off, and you are not able to prioritize everything at the same time. Step 2. Build your measurement pyramid. Now, work backwards from your business goal, which is North Star. The top level, the impact level, your business North Star. Move to the middle level, the outcome level, leading indicators your North Star depends on. And bottom level, the output, active metrics that help drive your leading indicator and understand the risk. For example, at the impact level, you want to increase revenue by $5 million. And the outcome level, you need to improve the sales conversion rate by 20%. And move backward again, in output level, AI recommendation system need to serve 100,000 personalization suggestions daily. And let your engineer team always measure the collectible outcome metric instead of output measurement at the first place. And understand that if you achieve lower level metrics, does not guarantee you achieve the next level. But if you are not able to guarantee the lower level metrics fulfilled, your higher level metric will suffer. When you calculate the impact metric by using collected outcome metric numbers, always test the assumptions. Find out where could be the blind spots and what need to be true. You can have your metrics tell the story at all 3 levels. For the executive summary level, impact level, you will have your business return on investment. For example, X dollar return for every $1 invested. The goal progress, 60% towards annual target. Competitive advantage, leading time reduction versus competitors. Then you can have your operational level, outcome level metrics like key performance improvement indicator, process efficiency gains, quality metric trends, and then the technical health check, which is the output level, system reliability, data quality, model performance. And then you will not miss anything, but you need to always prioritize the impact level. Step 3. Implement proxy index. Here, where most leaders or analysts get started. There are some impacts or outcomes need to take months for showing the results, like demand forecasting for helping reduce warehouse stock, or the nutrients detection helps sales revenue boost. Instead of searching for the direct or perfect metric, start to use proxy index. Think of it like an estimate, an intelligent way to approximate real impact without needing to wait years for perfect data. The key is focusing on what truly matters, not just what easy to measure. And the secret source here is not actually from the engineering team, it's actually from business expert and the people make the decision. A proxy index is an early indicator that predicts your ultimate business goal. Instead of waiting for 12 months to measure revenue impact, track metrics that correlate with operational improvement and revenue impact. No need to be correlation is enough. Those metrics should not only come from industry best practice, but from your employee daily decision-making process. Your hidden business successful experience. You know what works in your own company and what is not. There is no universal answer, and there is your competitive advantage. Here are some inspiration you can read or make a screenshot for later use. The Retail Proxy Index and the Finance Proxy Index. The key is there is always a way to find some metrics that move before your business result and believe your experts' opinion. And here is where AI will not able to replace you. Step 4. Establish review rhythm. Here is an example. Weekly, you can examine your output metrics. Is the system running properly? And understand the technical capability. At monthly level, you evaluate your outcome metrics and understand, are we seeing the expected improvement in operation? At the quarterly level, you calculate the impact metric and to answer the leadership and investment question about, are we achieving the business objective and should we still invest in the same project? This rhythm ensures you catch problem early while maintain focus on long-term business value. The framework I provide you is a structure, not a rigid checklist. It helps you considerate, focus on the right things, but make changes based on your own situation. Now, I would love to mention some common pitfalls to avoid. First, don't ignore output metric entirely. They are still important for system health. Second, don't expect immediately impact measurement. Use proxy index while building towards true impact metrics. Third, don't measure in isolation. Connect AI metric to broader business KPIs. And 4, it's all about alignment. Here's what I want you to remember. The bottom line, AI is not a technology investment. It's a business investment that happens to use technology. And like any business investment, its success should be measured by business outcome, not technical achievements. The organization that gets this right don't just implement AI. They create sustainable competitive advantage. They don't just deploy models. They drive measurable business value. The question isn't whether AI will transform your business. The question is, will you measure its transformation correctly? Right now, before you watch another video or attend another meeting, I want you to take this implementation challenge, if that is relevant. First, write down one AI initiative your organization is currently pursuing. Second, identify the real business problem it's supposed to solve. Third, ask yourself this critical question. Are we measuring the output, outcome, or impact what we are actually measuring? Fourth, define your business North Star using the framework I just shared. 5, compare the measurement with the North Star you built and the hierarchy. You may bring some new inspiration or idea to your team or leadership. Here is the good news. I create a free resource to help you implement this framework immediately. I will link down below. Share your story about how you apply this and your story about AI evaluation. Let's learn from each other and build a community of leaders who measure AI successfully in the right way. If this video inspired you, smash that like button and hit subscribe for more. Thank you for watching and see you in the next video.